Now we're episode 2 on Fuzz on the Mic podcast. I'm sitting here with Jason, Steve, Mike, and our special guest, our first guest, is George. How was that?
Who are you that you're sitting here with Jason, Steve, and Mike? Who are you supposed to be?
I wanted to pretend like I was somebody else because you need a great. I feel like you need that guy. That
yes,
introduces
we do
your
need
podcast.
a better opening voice. We need to get like Mike Rowe.
Yeah.
Mike Rowe is the
Who's Mike
best
Rowe?
at that. You know who Mike Rowe is?
No.
Dirty Jobs. You ever watch Dirty Jobs?
I think I did actually. I don't remember him.
Why don't
He's
we
the
get the guy
host
from Home Improvement?
of
We're
Dirty
good
Job.
friends with him now.
I mean, I might have watched that once.
Well, the voice that you're hearing
Home
now
Improvement.
is George Steuber.
Start with that.
Yeah. I mean,
Do
you
that
always
again?
make some
Do
weird
that again,
I'm
clean?
never doing that again.
Try again.
Clean.
Well, it's George Steuber.
No,
I'll
try
do it
again.
when you're not looking, I'll do
Try
it.
again. All right, look over here.
Uh,
You bitched out so bad.
that wasn't bitch. I was just weirded out.
So, Steve, why don't you, since we're starting now, why don't you tell our audience what's going on, what we're doing here, and who we have?
I was doing that.
Okay.
And then
I thought we were starting a lawnmower.
George Steuber, a very good friend, a person who thinks just like us, honestly. So I think we're gonna have a lot of interesting arguments right now, or discussion about different topics.
What if we just agree?
The fire alarm has went off.
Fire alarm is
So,
literally going
episode
off.
2, fire alarm is going off here
This
in the
always
middle of our
happens,
studio.
I think.
I don't know if we should evacuate.
No, I think it's fine.
We're not going to
That's
evacuate.
what it is.
It's never
Well,
a
it's
fire.
we're just-
Jason, aren't you a
Whatever,
fire
let's see what
guard?
happens.
I'm not on the clock.
Isn't
right
that your
now.
job?
Yeah, I'm not on the clock.
I know. We're staying.
I'm turning off.
I guess we'll have to wait.
Yeah, this doesn't bode well for our audio, does it?
No.
We should probably just cut it.
No, I'm turning off.
You're killing the.
I can't.
I smell smoke though.
believe-
You don't smell that?
No.
No.
A little bit.
No.
These are different alarms. These are new.
No.
Yeah, they're
alarms?
they're more accurate.
Look, we're going to use all that, and we're going to revert back to the introduction of George Steuber, who's a good friend of ours. He is the director of photography and a producer on Terrifier 1 and Terrifier 2, as well as many other things. He's a lighting genius, I would say.
Wow.
That's what I would call you.
That's
Wasn't
a
that great?
Pretty, yeah, that's
You're a
actually
brilliant lighting mind. But we're not going to talk about lighting.
Pretty,
We're going to talk about
George's
food.
second love.
Food.
I do like
For
food.
those of you who
What
don't
do you like
know,
more,
George
food
loves food.
or light?
Oh, food.
What about food light?
What about lighting
I like
food?
lighting food a lot.
He does.
Love it.
Do you eat the food after you light it?
Absolutely.
But you don't spray it. It's not fake. You don't like spray it with some kind of
No.
hazardous chemicals
No,
to make
no,
it pop
no.
and make it look good.
No, I keep it natural.
That's
Just
good.
no,
Organic.
you know why he keeps it natural?
So we can eat it.
You want to eat it.
Yeah.
What's your favorite food you've ever shot?
Oh man, I just I'm trying to think. It's like steak is probably like the number one. I think.
To shoot or to eat?
No, to eat. Both. I like I like shoot. No, you know what? I don't know if steak is the best to shoot because it isn't really like it's hard to make it look super appetizing.
What about when
I
it's
think.
sizzling, popping?
Yeah, but other food like it doesn't have too much color to it. You know what I mean? It's like it's dark, it's red.
Well, you got to cut it open. You got to have.
Yeah,
You
you
see the
cut it
inside
open.
of the
But
steak.
then you
do.
ruin the steak by filleting it like that because then you don't keep
Yeah.
all the juices inside.
Well,
It's-
again, it's about the shot. Sometimes
It's
it's
not
about
the
the shot
prettiest
over the
dish,
taste.
but
We're talking about
tastes
people
amazing.
don't know much about lighting and shooting food. That's why this is.
Well, what's the
Right.
difference quickly, and we'll get off this, but what is the difference between lighting food and, lighting someone cinematically, like for Terrifier, other films that we've done, Art the Clown, everything? Like, what's the difference, you would say, between zeroing in on food versus people?
It's like, I mean, both. You're going for beauty for both, but it's like you're trying to make the food as appetizing as possible. So, like, any flavor, any, like, juices that might be flowing or something like that, you want to amplify that. You know what I mean?
Well, that's what
Whereas
you
a
do with
person's
art.
face-
You're always there's plenty of juices flowing on Terrifier.
You want to make it look soft, usually if it's, a woman or an older man.
Right.
And, I mean, that's pretty much the difference.
I would say, yeah, the difference might be food you're trying to make appetizing, clearly, and whereas with movies, most of the time you're trying to portray a mood.
What else do we want to talk to George about? I mean, maybe people would listen to this because they know George is involved with Terrifier 2. Let's give them a little Terrifier 2 insight, like the release date. The release date's going to be...
The release date's going to be beep, and thank you
think
for watching our
it's,
show today.
There you go.
So, George, what do you find? I'll ask you. We'll ask you this just for anybody that might
bad
be
already.
interested in listening to. No, what was the difference and the challenging part, lighting-wise, I think, of doing Terrifier 1 versus Terrifier 2? Just from your point of view, because you lit both movies, what was the most challenging lighting-wise in the difference?
There was way more to light. Like, there's just way more. We shot a lot more. You know what I mean? So
You covered more landscape.
there's so much more landscape.
And so many more different locations,
The sets
too.
are big. You know, yeah, 1 million locations. The first one, we were mostly in one location.
What else was more challenging about the second one besides the scale? Because the scale is
The scale is
it's-
mostly what it was.
It's totally different scale.
Yeah, but the scale is really what was the hardest thing, I think.
Which was the hardest set to do?
Most of them, because there was like no heat.
And it wasn't because it was hard
The
lighting
moral
wise.
of the story is that
cold
this,
doing
it was
We were
miserable making this
freezing.
movie. That's
You know,
more-
we're
In the dead of winter, in all
Upstate.
cold places.
Listen, who are we
Philly,
kidding?
upstate.
Listen, we know when we were lighting, you ran next door and you made the biggest peanut butter jelly sandwich you can possibly imagine. I've never seen someone get so much jelly and so much peanut butter
What are you
between
talking-
two loaves of bread.
Mike
I've never
would
seen
come
it.
out.
Yeah.
Mike was
No,
coming
I've
out
never
with
seen
put on a
it.
spoon. He would have it on a plate. Get the spoon. He'd have a lump of peanut butter like this, just eating it like that
And
with
the
the
jelly.
spoon coming out with the jelly.
I was carbs, no carbs.
No carbs, dude. Peanut butter. Let me tell you a little secret. The peanut butter has a lot of carbs. There's sugar
So
in it.
why do I need the bread?
No, but the amount of peanut butter that you were ingesting was a lot.
It made up for the bread. And
Like
then
it was like having 3 sandwiches. Or
My
something.
favorite thing George would do was take one piece of bread
I know where this is going.
and consider that like a half a sandwich because you'd fold it in half instead
Couldn't
of putting it on a
fold it
piece of
in
bread.
half.
But you couldn't even fold it. It had so much peanut butter on
I
it
do like it.
that it
Peanut butter.
wouldn't fold. And then I've never seen this. I've seen this man dunk that peanut butter and jelly sandwich in coffee.
Yeah.
You have to do out there, man.
I
Like,
want to know if
We were-
anyone
we
is
were
the
living-
Wild, wild west.
You're gonna survive in the
we're
elements.
not talking about like you're at home relaxing. You know what I'm saying? Like
the
we're
elements.
this is in a trailer that's like in the middle of nowhere.
You're in the trenches.
You're in the jungle.
I'm pretty sure that
But what is
people
that-
in the
what is the
trenches would be
jungle-
dying for a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
What does the jungle
was
have
the-
to do
but-
with the
but hold on.
dunking it?
But that was the luxury because I needed the caffeine wrapped around the sandwich to really like give me a charge.
I want to know if anyone listening to this has ever done this.
100%.
Has
I've
ever
seen it
seen
done
anyone
before.
else do
I've seen
this?
people dunk stuff in
30
coffee.
years of life,
Yes.
I've never. Yes.
Cookies?
Stuff. Yes.
Peanut butter sandwiches.
I've never seen such a thing.
I don't really dunk it. I mean, cookies, yeah. Milano cookies, yeah.
Dunkaroos.
There's certain
Chocolate
there's-
chip cookies?
There's certain things you can dump in coffee.
Chocolate chip cookies.
I think
man.
peanut butter is well below the list of things.
No,
that you
peanut
can
butter
dump.
is in there, man. Because you know what
You
it
have
is.
the jelly to
That's
kind of
first of
make
all,
up for that.
can
'Cause
I
peanut
explain
butter's
something
so
to you?
sticky, but the
But
jelly
so then the
kinda
jelly,
loosens
you
it up.
definitely
Yes.
just lose jelly in there. There's no way you.
But
you-
that's
jelly
the-
is just going to end up.
But he
in
likes
the
that. It's like
that's
sugar
a
in his coffee.
bonus at the end of the coffee. Like you get the little jelly shot.
Surprise!
I'm here.
It's like a worm in your tequila.
It's not bad. I don't know.
All right, I got a food question.
Good.
You want it?
Yeah.
You're making a sandwich, right? Got a nice loaf of Italian bread. You cut the bread with a bread knife.
Mm-hmm. Bread knife?
Bread knife.
Okay, go ahead.
Bread knife, right?
Yep.
Is that's not an
No,
accurate
no.
term?
You,
Do you need to clean that knife? Or can you just kind of wipe it off, put it back? Is that knife dirty? Does it need to be washed?
Well, it
soaked,
depends on
or-
those
Hold on
condiments.
1 second. You're putting that knife back in the drawer after you cut the
I'm
bread?
asking you, can you?
No.
Why not?
Why not?
I rinse it.
I
I'll
rinse
rinse
it.
it.
I'm
I'll
gonna-
rinse it.
I'm gonna
There's
tell you
condiments on
why.
the sandwich?
No.
Obviously, there's
No,
no,
no, no, no.
condiments. You
There's
don't
no
cut
condiments.
the bread
Just
with
cutting
No, hold on,
condiments.
hold on.
Oh, I thought you
can't
meant the
open
meat
up a
and everything's
bread
already on
full
it.
of mustard. He's saying like you cut the
Dry bread. Dry, fresh loaf.
I'm
That's
gonna tell you
interesting.
something about dough though. It's made with ingredients that you probably shouldn't have on your knife, and then you put it back in the drawer, which is dark, and you're
But
gonna
it's
let
cooked.
shit.
You're gonna
What's
tell me you're
called?
gonna get a
The
moldy
bread.
knife?
So you can't. So
you're gonna
you're
get a moldy knife from the
so
bread?
you're telling me that nothing can grow on bread because it's cooked.
It's cooked.
So next time you see that moldy loaf of bread, I want you to take a nice big bite into the fuzzy patch.
Well, you know, moldy bread is actually penicillin, so it's actually healthy for you to have a moldy piece of bread.
Penicillin and mold are two different things, but yes, penicillin is a derivative of mold. I guess,
But
right? Is
neither
that what it
here
is?
But
nor
that-
there.
that
That's an
knife's
interesting
dirty? You're
question.
telling me that knife's
I'll rinse
dirty?
It. I'll
The
rinse it.
knife is dirty. I'm never eating over your house
Michael
if you're
will
doing
rinse it.
shit.
Michael
like-
will rinse the thing if it's not even.
Yeah,
cut
Mike
with bread.
rinses the bread before he
He'll
eats the
take
bread.
He'll put hand sanitizer on the bread. Okay, he don't need to rinse. He'll rinse everything.
He rinses the bread, is what you're saying?
You can't ask Michael this question because it's automatic.
I don't know.
It's
I
getting
see, I
rinsed.
don't-
I wasn't saying I was going to go all scrubby-dubby with
you
soap
could
and
rinse
water,
it a
but-
little water. I think you could just wipe it off.
No, here's the
You
question.
wipe it off and you put it back.
Not the bread, but like, what if you were to open up like
It's
a little
just bread.
plastic bag or something that you needed? You didn't have the scissor handy.
Oh, then you got to
grab the
Yeah,
knife
yeah.
and you quickly just open the plastic
No,
bag.
that's dirtier than the bread.
But there's no plastic on the knife. Are you gonna put the knife back?
No, I'm
No,
gonna
because
clean
there's
it.
germs and things on the
You
plastic.
wanna know the
What
funny-
about like Amazon
I'm gonna
packages
clean
in
it.
the
not
mail?
Amazon
If you're opening that
package.
stuff,
No.
people are handling
You're
it.
talking about
What
one
if
of
it was
those
a Ziploc?
shrink-wrapped,
What if it
incredibly
was
hard
a
to open?
Ziploc bag that was in your pantry? If you have a pantry,
I hope you don't have to cut a Ziploc bag open. I mean,
Just say some kind of
Because
clean
you can rip
plastic.
it open. He doesn't know
I
where
get
he's
it.
going with this.
I would still clean it, but that's probably more clean than the bread was.
no.
that's
the bread
that's what I want to
knife's
say.
sole purpose is to cut bread. The next thing it goes into will be another piece of bread. There's no cross
This is-
contamination.
Nah,
There's
but
no.
some people don't think like
It's
that.
correct.
A knife is a knife.
It's
to me.
correct what you're saying, but also when the bread's stuck in the little grooves and getting moldy and fucked up in your drawer,
Why would there
and
be
you're
bread
about
on
to
the
introduce
grooves?
it to another thing? You know what?
You
You'll
wipe
never-
it off. There's nothing can stick to the knife.
Of course it can. Absolutely can.
There's nothing on the knife.
Is it a serrated knife? Most
Yes,
bread knives
Bread
are.
knives are serrated.
Well,
yes.
guess what? You know what that means?
There's some shit on your knife.
Exactly.
I don't
There's
think
some
so.
funky stuff.
There's
going.
bread
I'd
in the
rinse
grooves.
it. I don't know if I'd give it a full down rub down, but I'd
It also
In
depends on
reality, I'd rinse it, but I've done this and I've rinsed it, and I'd be like, "Why am I rinsing this? It seems unnecessary." That's why I'm bringing it up.
I know, but if you
I
if
feel like
you
I'm
looked at
wasting
things
my
on a
time rinsing it. I
microscopic
should
level,
be making my sandwich.
if you looked at it under a microscope later on, and you pulled it out, you would probably rinse it.
That's almost like if you take a piss and you don't hold your dick. Do you wash your hands? Do you wash
No,
your
it's
hands?
not.
People
No,
don't.
it's not because the
Do you
the
wash
knife.
your hands if you take a piss?
if you don't,
That
if
is
you go,
not
if you're
true.
saying if you go
You're going
freehand the whole
full
time,
Freehand the whole time.
No, you're going the full length of the bread with the knife. That's like you holding
of the bread.
holding your dick. It's like you holding your dick.
You're going the full length of something else.
Like,
But
you
I'm
do
saying
that?
it's like no, that's not the same thing. That's if like you held your dick everywhere, like you touched it everywhere as you were peeing.
Well, the dick is probably
Because
the
your
cleanest part
knife
of your
is
body.
going
In all
through the
honesty,
whole
it's kind of
entire-
hidden under your clothes after you shower. You put your underwear on. You put your. Now, I'm not
Gets
saying.
sweaty.
I'm not saying right. Don't wash because you, first and foremost you should 100%. Everybody
All right,
should.
so let me
But-
ask you a
Whoa,
question.
no, but you're skipping
wanna say-
Jason's question.
That's
You're
a great
ignoring
question.
Jason's question. I agree. If you went
I'm not.
freehand the whole time,
I'm
then
not.
yeah, why would you have
Why
to
you
wash your
wash?
hands?
But I'm not ignoring it. I'm saying that it's not really
the same.
a good comparison. I don't think
I
because
thought it would be pretty cool to bring up the conversation because I always wondered.
all right, fine. Yes, if you don't touch your dick.
But
then
what if you
why
touch the doorknob? So, like, let's say you go
the
to the bathroom,
doorknob
you
is
the
almost
doorknob.
definitely dirty.
No, the doorknob
no,
is dirty. Is
Right, but
way
you go to the
dirtier.
bathroom, you have to touch the doorknob.
It's
That's
way
so-
you
dirtier
should
than
wash your
genitalia.
hands before you touch your dick.
So you're saying you
should.
should wash your
He's
hands
right.
before
You
you go to the
should
bathroom?
wash-
I think that's more important.
I actually agree with
Wow.
him. I always wash my hands constantly. I'm cooking a lot.
Right.
I keep them clean.
You make sauce.
You're cooking and
I'm
eating a lot.
constantly making sauce. I didn't say I'm eating a lot. I'm cooking a lot.
Right.
I'm trying to cut down
Right.
I'm trying to cut down. How much sauce you got in your house right now?
a lot of sauce.
You got a lot. I saw the sauce room.
What-
I saw it once and was never
Well, you
allowed
should
back
have
anymore.
brought next time you come as a guest on the show. You should be bringing
What?
us a couple of containers of sauce.
Why don't you tell us what you did that you got kicked out of the room not to see the sauce room?
I did nothing wrong. Just a noise came out of me and it was weird.
He shit his drawers in my garage.
I said, "You like
I
making
was-
sauce?" And he kicked me out. But I thought it would maybe ferment. And be
Ferment?
ferment.
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 The sauce really doesn't ferment.
No,
I don't
my-
think you really want
You
it
thought
to
his.
ferment.
I thought
his-
that the noise might have fermented.
It's the noise.
The noise. He's an
So,
idiot.
I mean,
So I don't know where we have to bring this conversation back to its roots. So you'd wash the knife after cutting the bread.
Yeah.
Good.
I mean, it makes sense.
How do you count Pop Tarts?
by twos.
By a pack. There's multiple.
One pack is one Pop Tart.
One pack is 2 Pop Tarts.
Yeah, I don't think one pack is one Pop Tart.
It's never one Pop Tart
It's
unless
what's in
it's
them.
really hot out and it
But
meshed
but
together.
if you like if in a sitting when you
I'm gonna
when
have
you
a pop.
want
I
a
might
Pop
say
Tart
I'm gonna have a Pop Tart, but that always means I'm gonna have 2 Pop Tarts.
exactly.
Because
that's my
you
that's what
don't.
I'm
If
getting
you
at.
put that, if you open
you
that
can't
package,
eat one Pop Tart.
No, you can't eat one of anything. You open up Oreos, you're gonna have one.
You
You open
can
up
eat
Chips Ahoy, you're gonna have
one.
one. You're eating the whole sleeve. Like
You
me,
can
that's
eat-
me.
You can eat one of some things.
No way.
Yeah,
Banana.
like-
Snacks.
A
yeah,
banana.
If you had a banana, you can eat one.
Banana's different. I'm talking about snacks. Chips.
That is a
You ain't
snack.
having one chip.
Obviously,
Let's
you're
open a
not
bag of
having
chip.
one chip.
One
That's
chip.
Not,
No,
that's not,
yeah.
I opened the
not
bag
really
today. I needed
comparable.
one chip.
Yeah, that's true.
Right, but it's. Oh, you say I'm gonna have chips.
Chips.
You don't say I'm gonna have Pop Tarts.
I'm gonna have a cookie.
I'm
You
gonna
never
have a
had
Pop Tart.
You know what I'm saying?
But that's just
You
because
never
they
have
have
a
two in
Pop-Tart.
there.
You have
But I
Pop-Tarts.
actually do have a Pop Tart. I don't usually.
You could eat one.
Yeah.
You tell me you could open
I think
that
it's too
package
sweet for
and
me.
eat-
For me,
you're
yeah, I
out
don't
of
like
your
sweet things
mind.
too much. I'll probably have a half a Pop Tart. In all honesty,
Yeah. Because
So what do you do
it's
with the other
never as
Pop
fresh.
Tart? You got to put it back in like a little
I'll wrap
baggie?
it in. I'll wrap it. No, I'll wrap
It's
it
gonna
in a
get
Pop Tart
dry.
thing with a
Stale,
rubber
stale.
band.
Pop-Tarts don't
Whoever
get
goes
stale,
in
they
there is
can
gonna
last.
look at it like, yeah, okay.
What? Usually, I'll ask someone if they're with me. Hey, you want
How
this
often
other
do you
Pop
get?
Tart?
You've never once offered me a Pop Tart.
Because I don't have them that often.
So
But
I
the
mean,
thing is, if
you're
I
saying
do,
usually I'll offer Pop
if I'm in
Tarts
my
to
house
people.
and I have a Pop Tart,
I don't think
I'll
I've ever
usually
offered.
break a piece off. And Jason, you
I'm
want
not
a
giving away my
Pop-Tart?
Pop Tarts.
Number one, my go-to snack is never let me grab a Pop Tart. It's not. That's not it.
That's
Did I
true.
ask
What's your
that
go-to
question?
I don't
snack?
care
Are we
what it
talking
is.
about,
We
talking
shouldn't
about
be
late
talking
night?
about.
Are we talking about
It's
late
the
night?
worst
You
snack
shouldn't-
ever.
I'm
you
more
shouldn't
like,
be
well, I
doing
eat
this.
2 bags of Pop Tarts and then 2 Pop Tarts.
Now,
Then one
now
Pop Tart.
you just eat your Pop Tart hard. You don't put it
a
and cold.
toaster.
You don't put it in a toaster.
Not usually.
That's what they're meant
if I
for.
wanted a real like
They are-
gourmet meal, I'll put it in the toaster. But if I
What do you put it like a handkerchief on
in
your
a
neck?
normal
and eat
in
it?
a normal situation, it's right out of the bag. Why? Do you toast your Pop?
No, I don't think I've ever
I
toasted
don't
Pop
toast
Tart.
the
When I
Pop-Tarts.
was little, I used to get them.
It's not
toasted
bad
for
if
me,
you toast it.
But I
Tastes weird.
don't. Again, half a Pop Tart. I'm done.
Yeah, Pop Tarts are not my go-to. It's not
Pop-Tarts
that's,
are
That's
great.
not it. No, like you can eat I can eat 40,000 saltines. Like you open, you're not having
I
one
could do
saltine.
that
That's
too.
a lot
that's
of
I could do that too.
saltines.
I eat a sleeve of saltines
Right.
at a time.
There's sleeves. Like you
But
don't
how do
say
you
I'm
eat-
going to get a cookie.
But how do
You're
you eat
eating
this
the whole
sleeve?
sleeve.
You don't put
But
some
how do you
cheese
eat
with
it though? How do you eat the saltines?
I just eat them plain.
You don't soak them in water. Like you don't. How do you make them go down?
Soak them in water.
Oh no,
you
you
just
don't
What are
eat
you,
dry-
Kobayashi? This
Who
is not
eats
a
dry
hot dog
saltine?
eating
A
contest.
Yeah,
sleeve, bro. If you have a sleeve,
you have a
of
little cup of
saltines,
water on the side.
a
to wash
little
it
cup
down.
of water.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. You need to moisten these things.
No, but you got to live life on the edge.
what?
Yeah, it's
you
different.
have such a dry mouth. That's
Do you remember the
crazy.
saltine challenge?
Yeah, when you have to see how many saltines you can eat before you can not
No, there was
die.
like a certain number. There
Not
was like
die?
it was like 10
Yeah.
saltines at once,
Like
and
by
you
how
couldn't
choking?
physically
yeah.
swallow.
I
them.
like the club crackers better than the saltines.
No,
Oh, those are good.
they're good. But
They're
saltines
buttered.
is just
They
good.
have a little buttery to them. Butter.
They're like
taste.
more like a Ritz.
Yeah,
I was gonna say,
that's
does
a
anyone-
Ritz. That's a Ritz.
Does
cracker.
anyone like Ritz?
I like Ritz.
The
Ritz-
regular,
it's not
the
bad.
regular
They
one,
got a nice, like,
whatever the
buttery-
ones he's talking about, like Toll House or something. Those are better than Ritz.
Toll House cookies.
I think they're classier than Ritz, but Ritz, they're like the
Ritz
late.
is like the
Those are
poor
like
man.
the late.
Club crackers are like the classy
Right.
Ritz cracker.
Yes.
Ritz is like the
If
let
you
me
want
go
to
get
have a
my-
good
my-
time,
my hobo.
But they're
Yeah.
called
Ritz.
Ritz. Like the
Like the
name
Ritz
Ritz
called
is
doesn't
literally
matter.
like they're the classiest cracker. That's what they're
Nah.
like.
That's
That's
what they're
like
trying
their
to
thing.
promote.
And then
get
they
it.
made club.
the problem
Because
is
if you're part of a club,
Part
you're
of
the
a
top.
club.
You're the top of the top.
Right. It's true.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah, that's
Well,
true.
so why don't we put this out there to the social media universe? Let us know what you prefer and which one you think is more classy, the Ritz cracker or the club cracker, if you have them.
We'd rather know if you pop your tarts.
Well, yeah.
Pop your
And here's
tarts.
right. And
Do you
if
pop
you're
your
out there,
tarts?
do you put your Pop Tarts in the toaster or do you eat them cold right out of the bag?
Let us know on social media platforms. Good? That was good.